The fifth house corresponds to the sign of Leo, and the key words, I will, I create. And we're now back in the element of fire with the fifth house. Remember, fire is confidence, it's self-esteem, light. Now, Leo corresponds to the heart, so the illumination of your heart, the light of your heart, courage. Every sign of the zodiac and every house in your chart governs a different age in your life, a different stage of development. The fifth house, Leo, this is the rebellious teenager that says to authority, that says to their parents, I must follow my heart now. I must have confidence in what my heart tells me is right. So again, the power you have that's contained in the fifth house of your chart is the power you have for courage to take action. What will you create? What's going to change in your life until you actually do something, until you take action, that first step? So this is the power you have that's in the fifth house of your chart. Now, the sixth house. The sixth house is the power of your daily habits, the power of your routine, what you're doing every day physically, what you're doing habitually. Now, the sixth house corresponds to the sign of Virgo, and the key words, I serve. We're in the element of earth again. Now, Virgo at its best is the power you have to practice something to perfection, to work tirelessly. Virgo has that incredible eye for detail. Virgo can take something apart, see exactly where the flaw is, fix it, put it back together again, and perfect it. Now, this house is highlighted for all of us this year because we have the south node in the sign of Virgo, the north node in the sign of Pisces. Now, Virgo at its best, again, is that ability to be a perfectionist. But when the south node is in Virgo, like it is this year, this astrological pattern that's happening for all of us in 2007, the south node in Virgo is about letting go of an old habit, an old routine that has now become too rigid, too critical, too judgmental. This is the south node in Virgo. The north node is in Pisces. The north node in Pisces is about moving towards the new dream, the new vision for your life. How do you imagine you would like your life to be? This is the north node in Pisces this year, and moving towards that and letting go of an old habit, an old routine that is no longer good for you. So Virgo and I serve, the power you have in the sixth house. This is about, do your daily habits serve you? Do they help you? Or do they ultimately have the potential to hurt you? And this is highlighted for us this year in 2007. North node in Pisces, south node in Virgo. Now, when we get to the seventh house in our charts is a key transitional point, because when we get to the seventh house, we're now going above the horizon to the top part of our astrology charts. The bottom half of the chart, the first 6 houses, these are about the childhood, infant stages of development, the subjective experiences, power as it relates to us only, what we take very personally. When we get to the seventh house and we go to the top half of the chart, this is about you, your power in relationship to the world. Relationships, what you contribute back to the world, the objective experience. So when we get to the seventh house contains the power you have for relationship, the concept, the idea of us together. The seventh house corresponds to the sign of Libra, and the key words, I balance. We're back in the element of air again with the seventh house. So the idea, the concept of fairness, balance, seeing the other person's perspective, the other person's point of view, the idea of relationship, marriage, partnership, and the joy that that brings to us, being in relationship. This is the power you have that's contained in the seventh house of your chart. Now the eighth house is the power of passion. Think of that excitement, that aliveness in life when you give yourself completely to something, when you're willing to go the distance, when you're willing to give something your all, no matter what. This is the power of passion, and this is what's contained in the 8th house of your chart. Now, the 8th house corresponds to the sign of Scorpio, and the key words, I desire. And we're in the element of water again. Scorpio in the 8th house, this is fixed water, that intense emotional desire for passion, to merge your power with a higher power, a greater power, and the transformation that comes from that. Think of the phoenix rising from the ashes, the life, death, rebirth, the transformation that comes from total commitment, total passion, that aliveness, that excitement. Now, the 9th house. The 9th house in your astrology chart contains the power you have to risk, to gamble something, to take a chance. Think about what life would be like if no one ever risked anything. You take a chance in life. If it doesn't work out, so what? You'll pick yourself up and you'll try again. The 9th house corresponds to the sign of Sagittarius. And the key words, I seek. We're in the element of fire. This is the last fire house in our astrology charts. Now, the 9th house is the illumination of mind, the light of your mind, meaning faith, confidence in God. Remember, fire is confidence, self-esteem. I love Sagittarius, Walt Disney. Walt Disney, a lot of people don't know that Walt Disney took major chances in his life. Time and again, he would come up with a creative idea. People would say, don't do it, it'll never work. But he took major chances in his life and risked everything. He was a Sagittarius. I mean, imagine Walt Disney saying, okay, you're right, forget the mouse, it'll never work. So this is the power you have in the 9th house of your chart. The power you have to risk, to take a chance. So what are you risking in your life? What are you willing to take a chance on?